Hello and welcome. I'm Joseph Julius Owino. In this video episodes, we'll be looking at what is called service costing. Remember, this is actually used by organizations which do provide services. For example, hospitals, banks, even roads, the local government services. So in this episode, we'll be looking at some important things as far as service costing is concerned. We'll also be looking at some of the calculations based on service costing. Remember, these are calculations which can be used by the companies, and the same thing is applied while doing cost accounting or accounting papers. So when talking about service costing, they may be provided within an organization also. For example, when you work in stores or maybe you work in the maintenance department. But there's one major problem that organizations do encounter as far as service costing is concerned, and that is actually determining a suitable cost unit. That is the main challenge that organizations do encounter to determine a suitable cost unit. But remember, at the moment, an organization now will be in a position to identify this cost unit, then to calculate the cost per unit, it will be done in a similar way to output costing. And what do we mean by that? To get the cost per unit of service, this formula here will be applied. So the formula you are seeing on your screen, this one here, which we are seeing that the cost per unit of service will now be given by the total cost per period. Total cost per period divided by the number of service units supplied in the period. Cost per unit of service will be given by the total cost per period divided by the number of service units supplied in the period. Remember, this one only comes after an organization has identified the cost units. So remember, we said the first challenge that organizations do encounter is to identify this cost unit. But other times, other challenges may also come in. For example, in service organizations, there's this problem where these organizations find it very difficult to bear the high fixed cost, actually, when the total capacity is not utilized due to lack of demand. That is also another challenge. Also, another challenge that may be they may encounter as far as service costing is concerned is the cost collection and analysis. Remember, the cost data do vary in nature and size in various services. So maybe if you can just check some of the examples. I said that calculations will be done later, so stay tuned. Uh, so for example, in the service of transport, what are what cost units can an organization use as far as transport service is concerned? For example, if you can just check on your screen now, in transport, maybe they can use cost units like ton kilometer, or maybe passenger seat, or maybe passenger kilometer or kilometers traveled. What about in hospitals? We can use cost units like patient beds, or maybe patient days, or maybe number of operations. All these are applicable, but an organization will actually determine which is the best cost unit they can use. So you can check your table there in terms of electricity, hotels, and even restaurants. So, my dear viewer, at this point, let us now try to check on some of the main costs involved in the transport service. Remember, these are actually a business which actually many people have actually gotten involved in. So, some of the costs involved in transport service may include things like Fuel consumption. Remember that one is the main issue we have in Kenya. The prices of fuel keeps on changing day in, day out. Fuel consumption. We also have costs like vehicle depreciation. They do lose value by time. Vehicle repairs and maintenance, even wages for drivers, conductors. You can also look at the costs relating to insurance policies, insurance of the vehicles, even road license fee, etc. What about in respect to those operating hotels, restaurants, or maybe canteens? The cost may be one. We can have cost of provisions. Cost of provisions. Maybe you want to prepare those foods being made in that place, like meat, fish, etc., vegetables, and the rest. We also have maybe wages and salaries for the workers, supervisors, stock of cooks, waitresses, kitchen assistants, and also those other people who are working at that particular restaurant. Then remember, we have also the fixed cost, like those for rent, electricity, gas, etc. So these costs also have to be taken into account while dealing with service costing. So kindly subscribe, because in our next video, we will be checking on an example calculation on how we can tackle service costing questions. Thank you for watching. We meet in the next video.